Hey folks, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here with me I have Rich Latta, aka Bruce Lee, aka Bruce Leroy, because black and Bruce Lee, that makes you Bruce Leroy too. So it's a
True.
double, it's a double.
Look at that.
So what's going?
Got the whole bodysuit on you boys. I worked out in the bodysuit at class on Monday. It was a popular thing. It was funny. My instructor, he was very impressed by it, and we had a tough day on Monday. It was hot. It wasn't unbearable, but I was like, yo, because this thing is like, this is not cotton. Like you're not really supposed to do a bunch of shit in this. Like this is like
Oh,
it's essentially a tracksuit. It's like a warm up tracksuit
right,
or
right.
whatever.
Yeah,
And
you thought Bruce was doing that for fashion or sorry for fashion? No, he was doing that for discipline. Like you like yeah, I
yeah,
must
this
also
this
yeah
shit kind of clean
afraid
though. My had to
yeah.
just wear this randomly, outside at a certain point. They were like, "What's wrong with him?"
You know what's funny is like we old enough now we're old enough now. We at a certain point now where like you come out there in yellow and black and they'd be like, oh, they don't think Bruce Lee would be like, oh, you're Beatrix from Kill Bill instead. He's like, no, like
Right,
Kill
right.
Bill, the Kill Bill fit was tribute to the Bruce Lee. You know, people so now we so old now that people ain't realize what who's Bruce Lee. You
Right,
know,
right,
so
right.
yeah, that's gonna happen. And eventually somebody
Oh
gonna do
man.
that. Bruce, I mean, shit, Kill Bill now at this point that's 20 years now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's wild to think about. But yeah, we
and
are
it,
live
and
again.
you think
Dual
you
simulcasting.
yes, dual simulcasting, whatever that means. So I'm assuming it's running through YouTube and Twitch.
Correct.
Okay, I'll make sure it's not USA Network and TNT. That's all.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, man. So it's Halloween show, so I had to come with the fit. I try to have a little fun for y'all. So it looks like James may be dressed as what's her name? Um,
I'm dressed as no one. I'm just merely wearing an Arisa Nakajima shirt.
that's it. James is Arisa
Yep.
Nakajima.
Yeah, yeah, look just like her, right?
Yeah. So,
Um, but yeah, man, where do you want to start today?
oh man. Well, it is Angels Night. You remember the movie The Crow?
Vaguely, vaguely. I've only watched it once, and it was years or decades ago, actually.
Oh, okay. So The Crow is kind of a cult favorite. It was one of my Devil's Night, excuse me. Um, and it had Brandon Lee. Speaking of Bruce,
Uh,
Brandon Lee died on set apparently,
yep.
and someone shot him with a blank or whatever, but they replaced the bullets. Alleged. That's the rumor. Of course, in the '90s, you can say anything about how somebody died, and you just believe it. It becomes a myth, a legend. But the
Yeah.
movie The Crow is basically where Sting gets his whole shit from, where he's
Yes.
back and paints his face. So the nigga marries this woman he's madly in love with. Her name is Shelley Webster. And somehow like some thugs just rough them up on their wedding night. And their wedding night was October 30th, which is Devil's Night. And I think it takes place in
Mm,
Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. Bunch of
okay.
like burning buildings and abandoned shit like that. So they fucking kill them both on their wedding night, right? And they die, but somehow this fucking crow finds this guy and like basically like resurrects him essentially, and like basically starts like cawing and hitting the gravestone and breaking it, and he gets out the shit, and then he brings it back to life, and he's walking around like, oh my god, like, and he's like shaking and shivering, and he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He has like no strength, and it's raining, and it's at night. And then all of a sudden he starts like basically like adjust to the environment. Then he figures out I'm invincible or whatever. So what does this nigga do? He's like, well, it's time to serve me some vigilante justice. Like, and he hunts these niggas down one by one until they loop back into this other story. But it's this nigga's doing like unbelievable feats. Like this nigga's getting shot in the hand, all of a sudden holding that bitch up, and then it's a big ass hole in it, right? And then that shit just closes. Like he laughing at the nigga. Like he there was this one part where they he he's I think it's this dude named Tintin or something like that. But he likes the knives and he be like doing all this shit.
Okay.
So I think the nigga the crow like throws them shits at him like all in one. The nigga was out here blowing up pawn shops, making them explode while they're on fire. Bro, you gotta see this shit, bro. Like, it's insane, bro. And then, like, it's there's a cop, there's like a little girl. He's a good vigilante essentially, but he comes out and gets revenge on everybody that fucking killed him in the love of his life. And he goes back to the scene of the crime and he can see like where the chalk outlines are, and you got to see the fucking special effects. They are ridiculous. They look ridiculous at this point, but it's
I
a
saw
really
it. They were
fun
not good.
movie. It is a really funny movie. I've always liked it ever since I was a kid, but yeah. Then at the end, like there's this Chinese lady and she has an obsession with people's eyes. Like she be like having the crow hunt people's eyes and take them, and she just collects eyes. It's weird or whatever. And then there's like the big evil guy. He has like super long hair or whatever, and he ends up fighting the crow at the ultimate scene and all that. But like it said he was with the chick that collects the eyes, but it was implied they were brother and sister. It was weird, bro. It was
Okay.
weird. But like I was like, I know y'all ain't brothers and sisters. That don't make no sense. But you got to see how he goes around and kills all these niggas. Like it's dope. Tons of industrial type music, bunch of rock music from the 90s. Shit's hard. But yeah, tonight is that night, and it took place on October 30th. So that's why I thought of it. And yeah, man, I just love Halloween. I always loved dressing up. Last year I was the Green Ranger. Year before that I was in Cobra Kai. I don't know what I'll do next year. I don't know what I should do. I was thinking about doing Jim Kelly, but then I cut my hair, so can't do Jim Kelly. So I was like, well, got to do Bruce. So here I am with the with the motorcycle suit on, whole joint, ready to go. But man, so as far as where we're starting, Jesus Lord, there's two places we can begin. We can either begin with Michael Jordan or the other Michael Jordan. Which one you want?
I mean, I whichever one you find most interesting, we can start with.
Comment: is James' costume Black John Moxley?
Yeah, I don't think that he would ever wear a shirt that says "Violence Queen," but okay, if you say so.
So,
Um,
so let's talk about Michael Jordan, man. And they got him on NBC, and they rolled out
yep,
some more of the interview.
yep, the
Uh,
same interview.
Another 3 minutes. So who knows, man? Like all I know is they got to shoot some other shit too. But they had him talking
I,
about the load management and all
mhm.
that, and Michael Jordan was like, he basically came out here and I don't know, James. He said exactly what I thought Michael Jordan would say about it.
Right, right. He did, and like it's funny because he said I want to do this thing in the beginning to talk about and praise the play or talk about the game and how good it is now and these players in the set by the second interview he's already trashing these players that are being told to sit by their teams and their management, not actually them. So I thought that was funny. They didn't bring that part up. Like
I was
they
gonna
didn't bring
say if there was one thing I was disappointed by, it would be Jordan being a former owner, not giving the organizational perspective on that. Like
well, you know why he
I would have
wouldn't.
thought he would have did that.
You know why he wouldn't. Like his
I
team
mean,
was
he's
never
not an
good enough to.
owner anymore.
No. His teams were never good enough to have to load manage anybody. You go out there and so we can win our 35 games and go home.
I
He
mean,
won this. Like, think about it. Load management started with the Spurs effectively, right? And like, no one said a peep about it because the Spurs were winning, and it made sense at the time. And then all it took was people actually cared about, actually wanted to see play and pay money to see doing it, and then it became a national talking point. Like that actually happened on my birthday in 2012. Like when they were set up for that Spurs and Heat game when the Spurs set out their first game, and then the second matchup they set out the Heat set out. Then all of a sudden it became a thing. It was like, well, we wanted to see LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh play. We didn't give a damn when it was Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker sitting. Oh no 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 no. And then it's has evolved over time even further and further further. And now we're at the point now where like the faces of this people with actual broken down bodies sitting out games, and it's like I understand it's frustrating, but do you want to see Kawhi Leonard play and then get hurt in the playoffs? Oh, he already does that already. Like, what do we? What is
I
all
was
these
gonna
open
say,
complaints?
I was gonna say, like with the load management, I feel like we got enough information now where I don't even know if the shit works. So at this point, I'm like, well, do these niggas just want to hang around the league for more years just to run up more money? Y'all should retire. Like,
Well, here's the part. Back to ownership, right? What are the owners doing? Do they want these guys to retire, or do they line up to pay them all this money every single time?
I mean, they don't have a choice because they have to spend that amount of money based on the uh, what am I thinking of? The TV deals and then the requirements for the minimum cap spend. Like they gotta pay it at this point.
That is not true. You wanna know why? Because we just saw Russell Westbrook at first future for about a Hall of Famer come in like the week before the season started at the veterans minimum after opting out of more money than he could have made if he had stayed in Denver.
Well, the
And there was
reason he
money for
left
everybody to
Denver,
get. He could have,
the reason that he left Denver was because they told him they were gonna scale back his role.
and he left out, and then he was out of the league, or not out of the league, but like he was waiting and waiting and waiting until the last week before the season started. He didn't even come into training camp. My point is like if these teams are allegedly as you or this is your point is one of your points of it is like well maybe they're looking to try to meet a salary floor. It's like there wasn't no salary floor when it came to Russell Westbrook.
That's true.
Like there's always a
But look where
situation.
Russell Westbrook is. Like Russell Westbrook's not in a place where he has a bunch of leverage or anything either. It's not like he's a player like he's probably like on a contract that's obviously like he's still a steal at whatever the number he's at right now.
Yeah, he's
He
playing vet.
in
He's
theory
at the vet
he
minimum,
should be at least like a $10 million player right now, but they've got him on a super minimum, non guaranteed.
right? And for him, like I mean, maybe he don't want to do it because whatever, but like I would have took my ass to China or whatever else and got $30 million instead, or $50 million actually for him. So whatever, he didn't want to do that. But my point is like there is all of this stuff that is we don't pay attention to what the owners do. We only care about the front facing players, and that just starts at this league. And it's like Embiid, Kawhi, Paul George, all these guys that are like all broke up, washed up, degenerative injuries or whatever else, or super old. Is like, all right, well, somebody wanted to pay them that money. That wasn't the players. And when they sit these dudes or whatever else, it's because like there's actually a reason for it. And you want to go to you don't know if these people actually don't get hurt. It's like, well, we just saw three guys go down with Achilles tears, like in the playoffs alone. Like there is something going on. Well, really, we know what's going on. It's like the game is harder to play now. We don't acknowledge that. We don't talk about that in these conversations. And then we have these old guys that played in time where it was less ground to cover, less harder, or it was easier to guard people because there's less spacing, because there's less shooting. And then we let them go out here and kill these guys. And then we end up in this situation over and over again where the greatest player of our lifetime is shitting on the young guys after he just said he won with shitting on the young guys. Oh, it took him one segment to go immediately off of that. It is like, all right, what do we have next in store?
Do
Do we
you
want to get into
think
gambling? Are we ever going to get into gambling? No, we're not getting into gambling. Why do we want to get into gambling, Michael Jordan? Why don't we do that? No.
do you think part of this could be Michael Jordan being on NBC now and NBC having a bunch of these national televised games and saying they want people in games?
There could be, but like the schedule makers already like fix that up. And also like, there are plenty of issues when it comes to other sports and like their media partners will shit on the other people like this. This never happens in the NFL. Not in this kind of sense. Like uh, we have haziness and it's all the damn time. never gets brought up. We don't talk about all the time. Your rookies they ran up $50,000 on this dude is a rookie or whatever else. That doesn't happen. It's just this weird thing that keeps going on where it's like, oh, the game is so bad, the game is so bad, the game is so bad. It's like all they do is jack up threes, and now that we have NBC, now that we have Amazon, like I feel like they have gotten away from that, but it's still ESPN that decided to bring them old niggas from inside the NBA from TNT over. And what did they do? Like they just went out there and did the whole Shaq doesn't know there's 30 teams in the league while he goes out here and shits on Wimby after having a 40-point, 15-point game in 30 minutes. I'm like a 40-point,
Well,
15 rebound game in 30 minutes. Like, damn, bro.
you know what that is though.
Insecurity.
Absolutely. Like, bro, like that man, and also remember that man was out here talking about fucking Bol was better than Wimby like 2 years ago or whatever. Bol could do the exact same thing. No, the fuck he couldn't. I always thought that shit was stupid then, and it's stupid now.
Right. But I guess what I'm getting at is like, because he's the game's greatest player ever, we don't ever hit Jordan with the he's insecure thing, even though he's done stuff where it's like, okay, and don't get me wrong, like it's human for this sort of stuff to happen. Like I'm not saying this one way or the other, like, but we don't call it for what it is. Like when these older guys get their money, move on, and then like shit on the younger guys, and the game's literally harder to play on a night to night basis because of the level of shooting, and also the level of more offensive firepower on the floor at all times. We don't talk about this stuff as far as like just being like, hey man, the game's different, whatever else. They just be like, you know, hard fouls. It was tougher, whatever. Agreed. But like you don't also talk about like the changes that also are hard. They also about like, yeah, it's just easier to play. These guys are soft. It's like, all right, bro. If they all soft, go figure.
But guys are playing longer. Like we've never seen the longevity that these guys have had now. I don't know whether to chalk that up to improved training or a game that's actually easier to play.
It's improved training. It's improved. I'm sorry. It's improved training. It's improved. Uh,
Because when's the last
sorry.
time
So Steph
LeBron
Curry,
played defense? Like LeBron will play defense, like
up
sometimes.
and down,
I don't.
up and down, up and
Yeah.
down, up and
Uh,
down.
I wouldn't call Steph Curry a defensive maestro. I wouldn't call Kevin Durant, a stopper or anything. But Kevin Durant's in what year 19 now, and what it's coming
Right.
up on like what? It's like more than half a decade since he tore his Achilles and just came back.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
LeBron with all the meat on his body paws, and I would imagine the stress on his joints.
Uh
He's
huh.
still, he hasn't played this year, but he's still an active player. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I don't. It just feels like, all right, there are several conversations to have, but like I'm like, I feel like it's a combo of everything, and then I feel like there's anti-fan stuff with like the All-Star game and different stuff like that too. And I don't know it.
I mean, I got
Like,
nothing for you. Look, you're absolutely wrong with the All Star game. They should play hard. They don't. They should be killed for it. We kill them every single year when they shouldn't when they don't play hard in the All Star game. We do.
yeah,
In general, like what I'm saying is like for some reason they don't talk about this stuff. They just go on, oh, these guys, pampered athletes. It's like this is the same cycle of the same thing when it comes to generations. Like every generation that comes after the generation prior, the prior generation always shits on them and calls them soft and all this stuff and pampered athletes, and they're jealous of the money that they're making. It's happened. It's happened time after time in every single sport. It always happens. And for me, it's like, when does anybody ever look up and realize, oh yeah, like the shit with like my elders or the people before me was shitting on me. I didn't like that. Like I've always been like, why doesn't Shaq ever stand up for these guys after they treated him like shit and called him such an underachiever and all this third when it's like, he's so big, he's so X, Y, and Z. Why don't he, do X, Y, and Z? Ends up with 4 titles, and we call that man an underachiever. And don't get me wrong, he did underachieve for his, what do you call it? His dimensions and all that kind of stuff and athleticism he was birthed with. But you can't call him a non-success. Meanwhile, anybody that's not even on his level gets any amount of fame. The first thing he does is, you need to go down there and dominate there, big fella. You need to score 7 points a quarter. That's not what his league is. We don't dump it into the post and watch people do that. We realize that, like, unless you're Shaq, or somebody like that. We don't give you the ball in those positions that much up there or down there. That's dumb. That's dumb basketball. We figured out the math on this. No one's ever really able to acknowledge that we changed the math on this, right? Like I saw Shaq and Reggie Miller with these two dudes I had never heard of before, and they were coming up with their Mount
Something with
Rushmore list.
Giannis, right?
Right, that's what I'm getting at. They're coming
Okay.
up with their Mount Rushmore list for greatest power forwards ever, right? So the only person that bothered to bring up Giannis, and Reggie Miller stands up like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, what do you mean? And then like, I just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, you mentioned, I think Shaq. I can't remember Reggie's list, but like, basically, they came to a consensus that it was that they're four after as round table of four people. They came up with KG. They didn't want to put KG on it first. Well, the two players did, but like the two other or the one dude, it's all about rings and wanted to put Dennis Rodman in there was insistent on KG don't belong here. KG don't belong here, and basically what happened was they had to pull up the 2000, sorry, the '98 finals, and be like, yeah, Rodman only averaged like 11 rebounds a game. Knock it off, right? For them to be like, okay, well, Mikel or KG, and it's like
He wasn't
Mikel
even
or KG.
starting in the '98 finals.
They didn't mention that. Also, when they were talking, they so Shaq was like, get the fuck. Shaq and Moore was like, get the fuck out of here with this Rodman stuff because Rodman just a role player, and then Reggie was like, well, he was more than a role player, and he was like, okay, what was his role outside of playing defense and rebounding? And then Reggie
Not
had no answers.
look, not spacing the floor, not dribbling the ball, not
Right,
passing the ball.
Reggie. Okay, so Reggie didn't have him on his list, but Reggie didn't want to dismiss or label him as role player. He was like, he's role player plus or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And then they, the Barkley, they brought up Barkley, they brought up Malone. So I think the final list for them was uh, Duncan, which is debatable because he played more center than he actually played power forward, but because he started in the league as a power playing next to uh, Robinson, then like they're going to pretend like they're both not centers, even though their games are exactly the same, basically. All right.
Mm.
So that Duncan, they had after debating, the fourth spot went to KG, and then Barkley and Karl Malone got in there, and I'm just like, there's one dude in here that's like vehement about championships and championships and championships. Meanwhile, the two people he puts on his list are two non-winning motherfuckers. But like, he didn't want to put KG in there, and he wanted to put Rod in there because he was a role player on 5 teams. It's like, all right, bro. And then like Dirk got brought up, Shaq dismissed it outright. Like, he's a small
I,
forward. He's a small
I
forward.
saw that. I saw that. Look, man. Look, man. They're gonna have a tough time. Like there's no doubt Giannis should be on there. Like there's
They did.
no doubt.
So check this out. Shaq did okay. Reggie Miller. Shaq didn't want to put Giannis in because he's like,
Like,
well,
would we want to
he's
call Giannis a center then? Do you want to
no,
do that? It could
listen.
get
He's like,
worse for you, Shaq.
hold on. He's like, look, he's a center. I'm sorry, no, he's a forward, but that's powerful, but he's not a power forward. That's what Shaq logic was. Then Reggie
No
Miller was like,
forward, that's powerful. That's insane.
right.
That's
So,
disgusting.
but Shaq had some consistency because he was like, he thought he put Rasheed Wallace as a small forward.
In the beginning of his career, I
No,
know they had him listed at small forward a few times.
okay, so what I mean by that is like when his name is, or as far as like he's talking about as far as like he wasn't up for debate like to make it, but he was saying like he was playing people's games and was like no dirt because of this. Also, so Reggie was like, what about she? Because she went outside too. He's like, and the chat was like, but this game at the end was so outside. He also considered Sheet a small forward as well. And I was like, okay, at least there's some bit of logical consistency to Shaq, even though he's dead fucking wrong. At least I can understand it. At least I can understand it. Reggie Miller going like, yeah, he's a power forward, and no, he's not better than Charles Barkley or Karl Malone was like, oh, that's even worse. That's even worse. I don't recall ever seeing either one of their 50-point games to close out a finals and win the MVP in the finals. You recall that?
I
Because
can't. I can't say I do.
because the last time I checked, since 1990 or 1992, I believe, the only people that ever scored 50 points in the playoff in an NBA Finals game are Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and that nigga Giannis. So I don't know. So and it's like, all right, well, they once they kept bringing up the Giannis, like you can't deny Giannis, you can't deny Giannis. They were like, well, he's still early in his career. He's still early in
No,
his
he's
career.
not.
I was like, bro,
They
he's
have no
made like
concept
eight.
of how old he is.
right, because he's young. He's young. He's that's my little nigga, right? He's
James,
like
he's been in the league. This is like year 14 for
2013.
him.
Yeah, exactly. Like he came in the league at like 13. Right. He's made all NBA like the last 8 years. This will be
I,
he he's finished top three in MVP voting like 5 years in a row. I know damn well Charles Barkley and Karl Malone never did that.
yeah.
He won it. He won MVPs and he actually deserved them. You can make an argument that Karl Malone won zero MVPs that he actually deserved.
Oh, yeah, he was in the same draft as Anthony Bennett. Someone's saying that's funny.
Yeah,
But
13.
yeah, swinging it back around to the low managing thing,
Yeah,
like
we can do that.
if anybody was going to say this stuff, like because Jordan looks at it like from a personal perspective, I think it's more like
Uh,
his whole thing was he never wanted to miss a game because he saw it as an opportunity to prove himself. This is the same guy with a love of the game contract or a clause in his contract, so I expected this. You
yeah,
know,
but I'd also like somebody to have this self awareness, be like, hey man, like why were you able to get that 3P?
because he became a professional baseball player for a year and a half and still trained
Exactly.
like a madman
Because that man
and
went away from the
played.
game for a year and a half. Like that counts as far as your quote unquote rest or whatever else. Like I don't think you're going to be able to run the six straight finals because the only person that can do that is LeBron fucking James. I'm sorry, and he was in weak conference to get that accomplished too. And LeBron's all right. Like it's really really difficult to be able to run yourself right in that kind of way. Think of the way we've seen like other guys go through multiple playoff or multiple finals runs and they just basically kind of peter out or go down before they come back up on a rebuild.
It's never really been put out there that Jordan was, resting, quote unquote. I know there was like exhaustion thing with the three straight finals. Obviously, deal with his dad died or was murdered, and I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
You got to remember, there's also, there's if you don't want to count that retirement, there's also the second one.
Well, they was breaking the shit up.
uh, there's a
They
man
was
that
break.
love there's a man that love money. This a man that loves to compete. He could have brought his ass back, or he could have went somewhere else. So, like for me, it was like, hey man, look, I'm saying these are not the same thing as sitting down for a game or whatever else. So you got a boo boo like he's saying. I'm not saying Michael Jordan would do that, but what I'm saying is, hey, when you ran into the ground, time off will help recharge your batteries. I mean, that's common sense.
Um, I just want to like. I think for me, I think I need the specifics of whose fault it is, so we can examine the individual cases or whatever. Because like, I feel like when dudes are healthy and uninjured, they should play. Like, what are we
I
doing?
don't.
Like,
Well, I would say that like we don't know these guys' bodies, and we got all this. As we talk about the medical upgrades in time, like the medical upgrades have these trackers on people to be like, hey, this person's worn out. He needs to sit. Like it's like, hey, your body or your tissue has basically like the Gatorade cup next to you. We can fuck around and play this too far. And don't get me wrong, like there are time of high leverage moments where like you gotta play, right? Like the Halliburton thing never happens if that was just a regular season. They would have sat him down. But it's the finals. He wanted to
game
play.
seven, yeah, yeah,
Right. What I mean, like the injury happened in what, like game 3 or 4 or something like that.
something like
Or
that, yeah.
yeah, like so that's understandable because that's the highest leverage you can possibly get. And then unfortunately that's happened. But like that's a trade off you will make a million times out of a million times. No one's gonna be like, damn, you should have set him down for 6 months or whatever instead of game 7 of the final. No one's doing that. But these are all these moments where it's like, hey man, these guys got something to play for at the end or come June or whatever. So you sit people out in these situations. That's the most common situation when we get to these things when it comes to low management. Is like, hey, this person a little worn down. This person got some type of nick that he could play through, but it's some game in March, and we're already in the second or the last third of the year. We're trying to get to the playoffs and win. Is this going to make us better come May? That's what it always comes down to. And then people will be like, oh, low management, and then what happens at the end of their careers? No rings, loser. I mean, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Uh,
But I will say this: you don't get no bonus points for saying, yeah, that person lost and never made it to the finals or whatever else. You never won a title, but he did play all 82. No one ever says that. No one ever gets credit. John Snyder never gets no credit for playing 82.
I think he does because they always talk about how he was this Iron Man, and so was Karl Malone. Really, them niggas never miss no games.
Okay, so I'll say this:
That's
they always
like the
get.
one positive thing you can say about the Jazz. You can't do nothing
Um,
else. Like, look, you want to start talking about Karl Malone?
that's why. No, no. So that's why I'm like, hey,
Look,
as far as
them
as
niggas
far
was
as point guard
available.
discussions,
That's it. That's the
as
best
far
thing I can say about the Jazz. They were available.
as as far as point guard all time list, whatever else for John Stockton, yeah, sure. Like the longevity is the thing that you want to compare him to. Like if you want to make an argument against him or Kidd or Nash or Chris Paul, whatever else, sure. But outside of that, eh, the people shrug because when you go to Karl Malone and say he played them games, yeah, he played them games, and why you let Michael Jordan throw the ball out of his hands? Right? Like
Well,
that's why do you get suckered into all that dumb shit with Brodman? Like was he too, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the first thing. That's not the first. That's in the first paragraph with him before you talk about, oh, you play all these games, Iron Man. It just doesn't happen.
Curry Goat. Hey, brother, Karl Malone should have been in jail and not available. Correct. Right.
Yes, correct, correct.
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to think what year that I first found out about. I don't feel like I knew about it until like less than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember thinking, okay. I remember hearing about Cheryl Ford when she was on the Detroit Shock. And that was like
Yeah,
in
but Cheryl Ford's
2004.
not right. But Cheryl Ford's not the daughter. It's not that child. That's a different
That was the
woman.
first time I was made aware Malone even had a family. Like that was so.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, man. I don't know. Like you know, I like to like guys to play. If they're hurt, it is what it is. It's an evolving thing. Like I think Kawhi Leonard's situation is and Joel Embiid is different than I think what a lot of people get upset about. I don't know if I think I've come around more on Joel Embiid because I feel like that guy wants nothing more than to be on the court and available, but his body is saying no. Like
I
he's being
I
betrayed.
never I never understood why people ever mad with him. Like he got drafted and had a back injury coming into the league. He had it at Kansas. The reason why he wasn't that good why he didn't
Well,
he didn't
you got to think about this: the Sixers and they drafted all them niggas. It was an entire process thing. They was taking all these niggas that either was not playing a whole year, they was losing on purpose. It all got wrapped together. This is a bullshit organization. Like what they're doing is against the spirit of the game. There's a lot in that.
yeah. But I'm unpackaging all that, which is correct. I'm talking about specifically about Embiid. Embiid got drafted and he did not play all the time at Kansas because of his back. We knew he had that. We knew before he came into the league that he was going to have issues. He didn't play the first year, right? Like they called him. They nicknamed the process because of that. So
First two
oh, the year
years, right?
you're right. It might have been the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Instead of just the first year. So when it first happened, it was like, all right. I just do not see the Embiid thing the way I see the Zion thing. The Zion thing is, hey, this is a guy that has a body that he's a football player. He's built like a football player that's playing basketball, and there's no way this is going to end well. But it's not the same thing where structurally, there was a problem you knew going in with Embiid. The Zion thing is more frustrating because well, if
I'll say
you got to tell him to atrophy his body or whatever else to see how it goes after that. And then if not, then you got to tell him to put the muscle back on, and then you rock it till the wheels fall off. They never tiptoe. They kept tiptoeing and not being cute, not never figuring out what to do with his body. And Embiid was like,
uh,
oh, he came in the league broken.
then Ben Simmons, I think you got to add in there, which is a whole nother
Ben,
thing.
I mean, the Ben Simmons thing. You talking about late or early? Ben Simmons.
I mean, I think later, not that didn't he miss his first entire year or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not that one.
You talking
moving
about
on.
so you mean talking about since the back injury?
Right.
Okay, so at first I thought it was
Or
he's bullshitting.
whenever the shit was when they played the Hawks going forward.
Yeah, since
And
you don't. All right, so I think it's both. I think his back really is injured and he couldn't play or whatever else, and also I think he's mentally a midget.
yeah.
I'm sure that's politically incorrect, but he just mentally don't want it, and also like he has legitimate back injury that people when they talk about it are like, okay, no. Now I think I do think it says something that like not that many people have gone to bat for him to explain how bad his back is, but I feel like there have been enough people to explain how bad it is. Be like, all right, I used to kill that dude. Now it's like, all right, it's legitimate. It's legitimate. So like that's where he's in his career where he's just some bench guy.
Yeah. Either way, it's a conversation. It's never going away. Hopefully, we can still like approach it because like I don't 100% agree with Jordan on everything, but I think there's like there's a divide in the mentality to where like what it used to be like and what it is now, and I guess how the game is played now and how it used to be too. But
Bro, I saw this thing. I saw this thing that said like, and get me wrong, like I don't know where it came from, but like they were counting up to be like a team, a whole entire team plays like runs like an average of like a whole extra mile and a half per game in the NBA now compared to like just 20 years ago. Like that's not nothing. And like that in is not just running in a straight line, like it's cutting, and it's also like because of this floor space, like these guys have to stop and start way more. Like I don't know if you ever watch old games, but like watching old games, like it's so jarring to watch, especially 80s and 90s games. Like, bro, you didn't have to play that. Like, the defense plays like the defense is the part where like there's five guys in the way most of the time because the floor's not spaced properly. Not or not probably like the floor is not spaced and defense can therefore crowd. So now when you have dudes on boxing elbows, like good luck with that. Like you get past your defender, that boxing elbow shit is like that's going to a corner shooter now immediately, and then you put team in rotation. So it's just I wish people would be more honest about like how the game has changed and how it's more difficult just on the body in general, and also like the AAUification of this league of the league, where it's like all these guys come in the league with way more injuries than before because they're playing way more games to get this good in the first place. Or before it was like, oh, you go, you play your high school and and you may do one or two tournaments and that's about it. Now travel basketball is way more important than high school basketball ever is.
James, I think they're going to need as many games as they can possibly get if they hope to have a prayer's chance in hell of stopping Austin Reaves. Like,
What a transition! What a transition!
Austin A.R. Reeves does what he wants. Man, no Luca, no LeBron, no
No problem.
problem.
Yep.
This man has already become a Mount Rushmore white Laker. Um, this is
American
crazy.
wise, American wise,
Yeah.
okay. You got Vladi and that kind of in Luca, so it's
You know. Um, but yeah, man, this is something. Because I was in you got to trade Austin Reeves camp over the summer, where it was like that seemed like the only move, but once like we got the dominoes falling, like to where LeBron didn't get an extension, and they were like, "Nah, that's it." Pretty much, like come back, get your last year, and then holla. Combined with this play of Austin Reeves now, oh my God, I feel like the Lakers have to re-sign him.
well, yeah. I mean, it made no sense not to keep him to begin with, given just the age differences. And like, I think there are a lot of people that are still skeptical of this thing. That's like, well, it's been 3 years. We're in year three of him being a good NBA player. Like, y'all got to knock it off. Like the league would have figured him out by now if this was a fluke. You know what I mean?
To be fair, he did not look great in the playoffs, and he got kind of locked up, and it didn't look good for him in the playoffs. And you already
Yeah,
know
that's
how
true.
that
He's getting picked
goes.
on. He's getting picked on.
I was saying you already know how that goes. Like the third best player on a LeBron team is your fault. Like, so he was wearing that. But he went to the summer, apparently had a great summer. JJ Redick was like, yo, you gotta, like, you're not like the undrafted guy anymore. Like, you're like, that shit's over now. Like, it's time to like become, a real one essentially. And the way this nigga started the season, like Jerry West numbers, James. Jerry
So
West numbers.
so you mentioned the playoffs, and it was like they traded their size away to get Luca. Like, of course they weren't going to do well in the playoffs. Like, I know, like me and you didn't think they were going to do anything. We thought they made one around, and that was it. And it just comes down to it's like, yeah, you can get away with the small ball shit in the regular season, unless you
Minnesota was
got
a
like
terrible matchup.
terrible matchup for them, right? Like it is like unless you are, you got a Steph Curry, level threat or whatever else, they can just score 6 points or score 9 points in like 90 seconds or less. Like you know that kind of threat, your chance are it ain't going to work out well for you. Like so, it didn't. And also, given Luca body and his defensive lot being defensive liability, LeBron being old as dirt, like of course they weren't going to be able to defend. Of course, we were able to keep it that level of intensity. Like I remember, what was that game they tried to steal when they played everybody? They played LeBron all 48 minutes at the end, and it didn't work out at the end. Is that
Game
three or
four.
four?
Game four.
Yeah, yeah. Like, nah, man, nah. Like, they're a team where it's like, hey, you got Luka Doncic so you have a future, and now you figure out whatever you need to do post LeBron James after you got Luka. Like, so that's what this is what this is about. Like this year, next year, and the year after that is like, hey, the transition to get Luca, a squad that can actually go win the title over the next 3 years.
It does make me nervous to have like, all right, to think about Luca and then Austin Reaves being my two best players, and then like
Because of the defense.
neither one of y'all defend typically.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's gonna be a lot of asking for other people to cover the ass. DeAndre Ayton, I got no complaints about him thus far.
I mean, he's starting in game one. I will say that.
He'll be all right.
No,
But
no, 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 no. All I'm saying is like he's gonna be very aggravating because he's gonna be inconsistent. You're gonna get some games where he has a 25 and 12. You'd be like, okay, and there'll be games you'd be like, what the fuck is this? That's been his whole lot of life outside of that 2021 season. Is he's up and down? He's this. He's not consistent. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna be frustrating.
look, Curry goes says, Lakers are playing new whites who we have never heard of. Where did Laravia come from? He came from Sacramento, and this is a point I was actually pointing out to JML and James the other day. I did a fantasy draft on NBA 2K like right before the season started. Like there has never been more 3-point shooting ever in the league. You can have 1 through 12 on your team in 2K and have an A or A plus for every person on your team if you do it right.
Hmm. Okay.
And the what I'm looking at is the dearth of white forwards and guards, and like I'm talking about twos, threes, and fours all over the league. There's way more than you think, and they can all shoot threes or whatever. And I
Hmm.
don't know if they much else about them, but like they're like 6'7", 6'8". Some of them play power forwards, some of them are guards, and it's like there's a ton of them just hanging out in on rosters that we don't even
So,
really know about. Like they're like the seventh
so
man or whatever. It's a bunch of
a
Sam
bunch of
Deckers,
Duncan Robinsons, a bunch of Duncan
bunch of Duncan
Robinsons
Robinson.
from the
Who's the nigga
Suns.
on the Celtics? Who's the nigga on the Celtics?
Hauser.
A bunch of Sam Houses just hanging around.
I got
And
one.
here's Jake
I
Laravia
got one
now.
for you. I got one for you. So you're saying these are the sons of Keith Van Horn? That's what.
I
Fuck you for not
mean,
laughing. That was funny. God damn
I
it.
mean, you know.
Look, 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 big wing player, shoot threes, and can do stuff on offense. Don't really know what else we can do with him as far as the other end of the floor. Yeah, that was Keith Van Horn. That was Keith Van Horn.
Adam Morrison misses time.
Oh man,
Who else? Jason
Corver,
Capono.
Corver. Yep, yep.
Doug McDermott.
Peja, Peja.
I mean, Pedro was a little bit better than them, but
No, he
like,
was, but I'm saying he fits that profile of that man had a rifle. That man had a rifle.
yeah, like it's like,
A big wing with a rifle.
look, I suggest y'all look at these NBA rosters right now and see what I'm talking about. Steve Novak, bunch of that
Oh
in the league
yes,
right now.
brother.
Steve Kerr,
Yeah, I got one for you. I got one for you. You said Mr. Steve Novak, right? I don't think I saw Steve Novak play another NBA game after that 2012 first round versus the Knicks. They erased the Heat. I'm sorry, versus the Heat. The Heat erased him, and I don't think I ever saw him again.
Well, yeah, there's a ton of these boys all over the league, like, and it's pretty interesting. I wonder if that's a function of how like the game is like changing. Like, is it because they got a guard too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Shooting's at a premium though. Shooting's at an absolute premium.
yeah. Um.
And like
But yeah,
and
man.
I think they're at the point now where it's like they're trying to find shooting for cheap, which is not a thing anymore. So they're going to put in more of these guys you've never heard of they tried out and all of a sudden they got they got rifles and they'll figure out how you can hide them the best they can. But I think the main thing is like you need to find your all star that can play that can defend because like in order to maximize them offensively, you got to deal with some people that can't do anything on the other side of the floor. So if there's going to be multiple people that can't do anything on defense, you might have a good regular season. Like the Lakers had a real good regular season. But when it comes time to playoffs, and it comes back to you got to have size to rebound and defend the rim, you're gonna be in trouble because you got to stop
Yeah.
somebody eventually.
Yeah. But Austin Reaves, like back to him, like I think he even he's a different profile than those guys I was talking about. Like you can hand him the
Yeah,
ball, he can
right.
dribble, he can break somebody down, he can cook people flat out. Like
That's
and it
that's the thing. That's the thing. When me and you first recognized it, it was like this ain't no dude coming off of pin downs. This is a dude you can put the ball in her hand, you can run pick and roll with, or he can go out there and in multiple dribbles get people off their feet and get them and pump fake them and get them in foul trouble. We were saying that 2 years ago.
yeah.
I
Uh,
remember I forgot what game it was. But you were like, AR do what he want, and then he just kept going nuts in that game. You was hilarious. You were over at Marcus's when that happened, and we kept
yeah.
noticing like, hey man, this ain't no. This is a dude that's out here giving people work. This ain't a dude that's out here just sniping to death. This ain't Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson. All right, more like Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero guys put the ball down. You get my point.
I think that was game one in the Memphis series, if I'm not mistaken. I think it
Okay,
was
could have
Memphis
been.
that he was giving the work. And it's just like, damn, like so like when LeBron comes back, because that's been all the conversation here. I don't know, man. If you're LeBron, what would you do? Because like at this point, I'm like, do
As
you
far
just
as
have
what?
to like do you have to reinsert yourself like kind of forcefully to the lineup? Like, because it's like, all right,
What they got five?
like
They got five players better than LeBron. What do you mean by reinsert?
like as far as like who's the first option, who's the second option, and then like are you
Oh,
sticking Austin Reeves back in like are you trying to dim this light like or to essentially get all the stats that you've always had? Would it be like more effective? What if he was like, I'll just score 18 points a game and then like try on defense? Do you think that would maximize the Lakers more? Because I feel
I
like
don't.
perhaps save yourself for the playoffs and take it a little bit easier
Um,
in the regular season.
I'm kind of confused because like LeBron pretty much did that once Lucas showed up. Like he started playing defense and like he wasn't on the ball as much. Like he was secondary ball handler on the team. Like that actually happened last year. So like I don't. Did you forget? Or is it just like we got to stay on LeBron? I don't know. I don't know what you're doing.
No, I'm just like I feel like Austin Reeves is elevated to the point where it's like sticking him in the corner feels like malpractice at that point. At this
He
point,
wasn't stuck in the corner. He wasn't stuck in the corner last year when LeBron and LeBron was there. So why was he stuck in the corner now?
what I'm saying like he's a priority now. Like it's like all right, you gotta. It's not clear Luka and LeBron off and bring him off the bench. It's not none of that. Like it's like
Wait. No, they're all starting. Who's coming off? When were they coming off the bench last year? Who's coming off the
because
bench last year for them between
because
them three?
I say that because the late like I don't want them to get the idea of like there's too much like they need firepower off the bench or something because you
That's not
know
going to happen. No, that's not
like
going to happen. JJ Redick's not a dumbass. That's not going to happen. That's something
so
a dumb coach would do. That's something like, well, I'm not going to say no names, but that's something their last coach would do. That's not something that this coach would do. Hell,
uh,
this coach wanted to play them all 48, like the playoffs last year. Remember that? You ain't got to worry about that. No, man. Now, what was I gonna say? Now I would say that their number two offensive thing after Luca or whatever else should be like it should be Reeves and LeBron pick and roll. LeBron as a screener. That should be their number two offensive go to thing when LeBron's back.
Yeah.
Similar to when
Um,
they had Caruso, but obviously Reeves is better than Caruso offensively.
yeah, I think Austin Reeves has been a revelation. It is so fun to like pull up
How
his
old is he?
stats. He's 27 this year.
Okay.
So perhaps we're at his peak. Um, so I've enjoyed collecting the Austin Reeves factoids, as I mentioned. 40 points and 10 plus assists in a 3-game span. Only Jerry West and Austin Reeves have done this.
As a
Only
Laker
players
or ever.
as a Laker, yeah.
Okay.
In NBA history, the only players that have 25, 15 assists in a game-winning buzzer beater in NBA history. This was Magic Johnson in 1989 versus the Suns, LeBron James in 2018 versus the Wolves, and Austin Reeves Wednesday against the Wolves. Um,
That's funny.
yeah. I think Kenny Smith trying to say he's like some Jeremy Lin shit is fucking ridiculous.
That's where I was. That was another thing where it was like, that's so belittling. It's like, look, man, Jeremy Lin was that one year was a legitimate like really good player. Had a all play like an all star for a month when he had never done anything like that before. And then they gave him that he got to Houston when they gave him that poison pill deal, whether it was get him out of there as a restricted free agent with the Knicks. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like they traded for James Harden and they immediately were like, oh, never mind that plan. We got a much better plan. We got James fucking Harden. Um, like
Austin
so the
Reeves,
way
I got another one for you, James. Austin Reeves is the first Laker to start a season with 5 25-point games since Kobe Bryant in 2005, or 5 straight 25-point games since Kobe Bryant
that's
in
interesting to hear.
2005.
Hmm. So like back to the Reeves and Lynn part is like, yo, bro, like as we were talking about with like the Shaq and inside the NBA shit, is like these dudes ain't paying attention. Like I guarantee you ask them, hey, the Oscar Rivers averaged 20 points a game last year. I guarantee you they're like, nah, he did. He literally did. I guarantee they don't know that. Like so when when he becomes an all star this year or whatever else, or potentially becomes an all star this year or come close, like I don't want anyone to be shocked. Like this wasn't some overnight sensation thing. Like he's been a good player in this league for over 2 years now.
I don't know if you can see where I'm holding up, James. That is Austin Reeves stats and Shea Gilgeous Alexander
I saw.
stats
Wow.
in a much more ethical fashion.
Kinda, kinda,
You know,
slightly more ethical,
slightly.
slightly more,
Slightly.
slightly.
You're gonna give him the little Laker bump over on this side.
No, you know what I'm saying. Like Reeves, look, don't get me wrong, it's not as bad as like the worst I've seen from Shea, but like Reeves will quickly give you a trying to dribble in that head, bop back. That he do that shit. He does do that, absolutely.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I might have to get an Austin Reeves jersey, man. Might have to do it one of these days.
Before the Luca jersey,
That's 77 ugly as fuck, dog.
man, that's nuts. That's nuts.
AR, it came up the long way, undrafted. You
Hey,
know,
the the foreign man got to work twice as hard. So
America.
no,
The American white.
Rich. I was listening. So
Hey,
when we
I
talk about
got James. I just got one more thing before you do
all
that.
right,
So, while Austin Reeves doing all this, I know we all looking at the calendar, right? It's 2025 right now, right? Where are the Olympics in 2028, James?
L.A. Right? Yeah.
Austin Reeves, be there. Austin Reeves, Team USA, be there.
We normally keep tabs on it and talk about it, but it's gonna be interesting to see what that team is gonna look like in 2028 because like there
Los
are
Angeles
people
is
that
own.
uh, like brother. How do I say this?
They
2028.
going.
It might not matter who we bring over there. You wanna know why? Because they finna have a
They got
damn.
Wembanyama,
Yeah,
their
Wembanyama finna
France
be like,
team.
you beat me in Paris, I'm finna beat y'all in LA.
Bro, do you like thinking about that now? I remember watching that game, right? And saw how he was like crying, he was walking off the floor, he's all sad and shit. I was like, damn it, this is part one of
Mm-hmm.
the fucking 10-part documentary. God damn it!
Mm-hmm.
Like and then he whooped the world's ass for the next 2 decades. Like,
Right. Like you be like this is gonna be the low this is gonna be the low point that you get before he turns up in the documentary. Like when they do the last dance on Limbe Yama after he wins like 8 titles and shit like that, this is gonna be like this was his low moment.
yeah,
This is his version of him breaking his leg.
right, right. Oh man. So yeah, we should move on, man.
Real quick about Reeves. Real quick about
Yeah.
Reeves. Um, the 2028 team, like, it's gonna be really weird because like Tatum should be on the team. Is he gonna want to after what
If
happened?
I'm
After they
him,
sat his ass
I'm
down?
look after this torn Achilles. I've done already won. Y'all disrespected me. I'm never showing up for TMUSA again.
Look, it's so funny the people that go to bad parents about the disrespect. It's like, bro, you couldn't make a basket outside to paint the whole Olympics. Like in that, like we saw it, we such you, we such you. You be mad at us when you struggled. It's like this is a you thing. This ain't an us thing. You got if you had played better, you would have played.
Look, got to be on the court to miss.
My point is when they put him on the court, he was missing. That's why they took his ass off the court. We don't have if he had played, you wouldn't have had that gold medal. Nope, nope. You would not have the gold medal. They
Thank
would
God for
look,
Steph. Thank God for Steph
look.
Curry.
Look, man. Look, man. That whole shit was like LeBron, Durant, and Curry. Look, that would have been real embarrassing. He'd be like, we're not gonna let Jason Tatum fuck this up. Get out, sit, move, go that way. But yeah, man, like it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird because like there are a lot of guys that are like they should be on the team. Are they gonna be on the team? Do they would they play well in international competition? Like Donovan Mitchell, perfect example. I don't know how you would play international ball. Do you? Has he played on any FIBA teams?
Yes, and they lost in 2019. Austin
There you
Reaves
go.
was there, or 2021. There
Okay.
was one. It was one of them world championship teams. Like Ant was on
Mm-hmm.
it. Jalen Brunson, Jason Tatum, Austin Reeves. It was like when they was all super young.
Brunson's another one of the dudes. Is like, hey man, like physical guard play in the Olympics.
2023 world championships. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, like physical guard play with like we'll see. But there's a bunch of guys that like you know the names, but like I don't know how those guys play on the international team, how that works out. And like it don't look pretty, and I don't know what the rest of France is, but I know what's going to be on France, and that dude's scary.
Look, and he might have brothers and cousins, and Nick Batum might still be on that shit by then. Who knows? Like
And Nick Batum, look, man.
he said, this was the last one. The last one was. Oh
Okay,
man.
I would say because like if Nick Batum on the shit, you'd be like, all right, okay, so I guess Nick Batum and Kevin Durant both leave in 28. That's how they both go out. Okay, fine, fair, whatever.
Um.
Do you ever hear the Giannis Nick Batum story?
Yes, if I'm Nick Batum, I'm going back to Africa or some shit like that.
I'm going back home. It's Africa. God damn. This man said go back to Africa. God damn. Oh shit. All right, man. Let's move on. Let's move on to
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah.
Oh,
Everybody, welcome back. That has skipped forward all the basketball section. Go ahead and go ahead back and listen to the low management conversation. Listen to us talk about Austin Reaves. And now you caught back up. So, yeah. So AEW last night, it was the what was the shit called? The Fright Night
Fright Night.
joint.
Yes.
And
Yes, because Halloween Havoc is owned by WWE.
correct. Unfortunately. Halloween Havoc. I used to love Halloween Havoc, man. I thought,
Who didn't?
like cool stage. The Slim Jim sponsorships had the side turnbuckles looking wild. Good matches typically on that show. That's that Ray and Eddie
Yeah.
match, except the main event in the cage. The
Yeah.
main events with
Yeah.
all time horrible main event with Hogan and Savage, and another all time horrible main event with Hogan and Roddy Piper. There was a
Yeah.
terrible Sting and Bret Hart match. There was an awful Nash versus Hall match. Tons of that shit. You ever seen that Hall versus Nash match, James, in '98?
I don't remember it. I don't
Bro, you
remember
would
it.
have
I'm sure
fucking
I watched it. I
hated
don't
that.
remember it.
you would have fucking hated that finish if it happened nowadays. So like the whole thing was like Hall was a drunk going into the match and shit. They were doing the drunk angle,
Was this
and at the
99?
it's 98.
98.
So
Okay, okay, okay. This four finger for the doom. Okay, okay.
so fucking the finish of the match is Kevin Nash hits him with the fucking jackknife, right? And he's like, I don't want to beat him. I want him to
Doesn't he
fix
leave
himself.
it? Doesn't he leave it in the count out?
Yes,
Yes,
yes. And he
yes.
walks
I
out.
do remember that. Yes, I remember that shit. Yes, that shit was fucking awful, bro. That shit was fucking awful. I have blocked that out of my memory, and then when he says like, no, I remember you walked the fuck. Yes, yes, yes,
Yep.
yes. Oh my fucking god.
Yes, Randy Savage did break his leg and doing that big dive off the cage in the fucking Piper and Hogan match. Yeah, age in the cage, as they used to say.
He's in the cage. What made it worse is that shit. Wasn't that shit like right after like a month or so, or like when like following like really close to Hell in a Cell between Mankind and Undertaker?
No, it was a couple weeks after Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yes, it was after one of the Hell in a Cell. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so AEW this week we started, and it was Halloween night. They started with the Trick or Treat Tornado tag match. This was Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy against Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. I looked at Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia together, and I was like, what if, Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko and the Horsemen were non-threatening? And then,
I thought to myself like, oh, these are the two like Danielson guys, and like they're a team together, and they're rivals, but they're team together, and like it's Death Riders B team.
yeah,
Um,
this is where you're
match
falling.
was, match was fun as hell though.
Garcia,
Match was
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Uh,
they were brawling all over and.
yep.
Ended up with there was a funny line with Danielson saying, Willer U was tapping out. He's like, he must have learned that from John Moxley. I ain't teaching that
Yes.
shit.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Brian Danielson dressed as Hechicero, which is fucking funny. Yeah, so this was cool. Ended up Darby Allin got the win after a coffin drop.
It was
And
it was like back to back. It was what was it? Not beach break, but he got hit with the Orange Cassidy big move, and
DD,
then immediately the
diving
DDT, the diving
DDT. Yeah.
DDT. Yep. And then the coffin drop. Yep.
Yeah, it was I saw this match start and I was like, yeah, man, these are little guys. Here all four of them in there.
Yes. And the funny part
That
is
was
like
what was in my head.
now, another part about it, I wasn't thinking they're all little guys. It was like these are all like the four guys. Though you think about it, like once Death Rider started or whatever else, right? Like Daniel Garcia was on the side with Orange Cassidy and Darby fighting for AEW versus Death Riders, and now like Garcia is now with Yuta. It is like they got packed up.
And I was also thinking about how Darby Allin was saying he wanted to be down like he was Brandy, but I was like, damn, like it's smoke forever now, but I think I'll always remember that. James, like they almost ran this shit off the tracks.
I let almost ran out of tracks. I think you're just holding on to that too hard. Like he said, because it's basically like my respect for you makes me want to follow you, but like I know what you're doing is wrong, so I wouldn't go down your path.
Yeah, yeah, didn't love it, but
Bro, the Bucks
um,
just beat the Warriors without Giannis.
what the fuck's going on in Golden State?
Like, bro, I've been watching this whole game. You see me make a couple phases over here looking off to the side. Is because like Steph Curry made like an and one like on a crazy
Where the fuck is
shot he just
Giannis?
threw up.
Why did Giannis play?
I don't know. He's in street clothes.
I say I know he ain't doing no load managing.
Right.
That don't really
That,
that
right.
don't
That's not
really
a
jive
thing with
with
him.
him.
Right. That like he's in that foul. Like remember Blake Griffin and Westbrook was like that dude always plays, and when he plays hard all the time. Ain't no question that dude's effort. That's not a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So they kind of set this up to where like I started seeing it all come together. I was like, oh, they're gonna do conglomeration versus Death Riders in Blood and Guts. I was like, that's why this John Moxley and Darby Allin thing has
It's
continued.
continuing. Hmm.
and that's what it's leading to. And I'm just kind of sitting there, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, because remember when they announced the women's one, and then we heard nothing
It was
about it for
random as
weeks.
fuck. It was random as fuck, and they didn't even have like symbols of teams yet. It was like, oh, we got like uh the Tekla team, or Twisted Sister, whatever they're called, and then like you have it was Jamie
It's
Hayter and
like
one other person.
Hater. We
Was
we were trying
Hamanano?
to
Was Hamanano
Queen
at that point?
Aminata.
That was it.
People were thinking maybe Willow Nightingale would get involved.
Right, right. That's a speculation, but like we didn't have anything concrete yet.
Like Megan, they were thinking Megan Bain,
In
Penelope
Penelope.
Ford, and
Yep.
then the Tekla group. Like that was going to be the heel
Hmm.
side, and
Right,
then maybe Tony Storm. I don't know. Like
right.
uh,
I had my guess.
what the
I had my guess
babyface
too, but
one
I didn't have
was.
right. But like it wasn't like in stone. Like, oh yeah, this is definitely set up. And it's like, well, we're like 3 weeks away, or we're like 4 weeks away when that was happening.
And they announced this with the women like this is at least a month ago, and them
Yep.
tickets did not like go off in that way. And now they've added the men's one, and they've announced that like kind of like that with it
Well, what do
to
you
try to get them
expect?
tickets rolling.
What do you expect? Like when you look at it, when you look at it from a 10,000 feet up perspective, it's like okay, you announce blood and guts, and then you're going to use the fallout from the tag tournament, the women's tag tournament, to then fill out the rest of it. It's like okay, so by the time the tag tournament was going to be done with,
But
you
they
got to
were
get blood and
already
guts.
doing. Remember, they were doing all these tailgate brawls, these fucking no disqualification matches with all these shits with Harley
Yeah,
Cameron
yeah.
and a couple other people in them.
Right. But what I'm saying is you have an idea, a rough idea of who the people are going to be in it. But you know, some people will be pulled away to be in as they advance in the tag tournament, get into full gear. So it's like, so you didn't have a full lineup yet, and you don't have an actual. You have a match without a reason for the match yet. You know what I'm saying? Like you had these people, you have a bunch of people in the rough alliances, everything, but like you don't really have a reason for them to go in the cage that way. With conglomeration plus Darby versus Death Riders, you do
No,
because
I think they
they've been free for a
did.
full year.
I think
You
they
think so?
did. Like what all those like death matches they were doing, and they were doing like 5-on-5 on a pre-show and shit. That's like where it was like building up. It felt like they had the shit. This is what it is. They had the shit cooking right with the bad guy group and
But
all
it didn't
them,
fully
and
cook.
then they had to pause it essentially, and then now they're going to try to like heat it up artificially. It was like nah, they already had it going, and it should have been earlier or whatever.
Right, that's what I'm
The
getting at.
women did
It's
have a
like
reason.
they had. Okay, how do I say this? I just don't. You gotta have. I feel like you gotta have all the teams together before you have a reason. Like
Look,
you gotta have the 10 first. Like I get it. Like they had it's half baked. That's what I put it. It's not fully baked. It's half baked.
yeah, and now it's going to be like look, I may sound like the bad guy on this, right? But
They're about to get smoked.
the
They're gonna
women's
get smoked.
tag the women's tag titles are a mistake. I'm
I
gonna
won't-
I'm not gonna die on the hill, but
Why do you say that?
I'm gonna plant my feet over here.
Based on
Like
wait, based on hold on. Based on what they're already done, or based off of where it's gonna head to.
I know where it's gonna head to.
Okay, fair
Like
enough. But based on what they've done, I think they're not a mistake yet. I don't think they're a mistake yet.
look, like, I saw people freaking out last night when Julia Hart and Sky Blue ended up beating Aminata and Hater, and the
They
conventional
had
thing is
to
like
look at that side of the bracket.
I was gonna say like look who's gonna lose in the future. You got the fallout for the cage match coming, and Aminata and Hater will probably be in that.
Right.
And if we got to go forward, it's gonna be a lot more Julia Hart and Sky Blue than it's gonna be Mercedes and Athena teaming up. It's gonna be a lot more of that than like
They're
Tony
not they're not
Storm.
winning. They're not winning the tournament anyway because like Mercedes is paying Statler in their pay per view. They gotta bounce them out too early. Also, before they get to the final, unless you have Mercedes do double do the pay per view, I don't think they're doing that.
I
Now,
don't
I
think they're
would
doing
say
that either.
I would say it would be funny as fuck if this word from Shady was two titles. That'd be funny as fuck. She was the tag title, then she was the AEW Women's World Title in one night. Oh, that made me
That'd
feel
be
so mad.
that
It'd
would
be
be
so
the funniest
mad.
possible
Look,
outcome.
look. In
It wouldn't
also.
be
Oh, and
smart, but it would be
look.
funny.
And also, you can do this. Second match, she comes out in a different outfit. She did costume change, like she's like almost like she's hosting an award show. That would be, ooh, they'd be so mad. Ooh, they'd be so mad. You'd be like, so what are you mad about? You don't like these two four-star matches?
I think these things are obviously being held for Tony and
I don't
Mina.
think they're doing it. I don't think they're actually doing what I'm saying. Look, I could be taught into to one root for it. I could definitely be taught into the root for it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think look, I think these are now going to command a spot on the pay per view where the variance of the quality of match could be anything. Let's just say that. And if they don't get booked on the pay per view, they're going to get killed. Essentially, like, what do you even have these belts for? And
Yeah,
they probably are just going to turn into like what the trios belts are. Like
yeah,
that's my
yeah.
honest prediction for it.
Yeah.
So
That's look.
because like
I'm with
you
you.
don't
There's
actually
a great
have
chance of that happening.
and you don't actually have tag teams. You just have singles wrestlers you're putting together. So like, look, man, this is a bad idea. And I'll be the first one here. And when that shit starts playing out, I'm gonna be like, roll the fucking tape. Like, there is no FTR in the women's division. There is no Young Bucks in the women's
Right,
side.
right, right.
No, like, and it's just like, yeah, we like to see women like more represented on the show and stuff like that. Like,
Unless you
that's
invest,
nice, but
unless you
like,
invest into it, then no. You're right. You're right. You're
it's
right.
like
Unless you're gonna have Mina,
you're gonna
unless you have Mina
develop
and
teams like that
right.
actually like come in the company together or that have like gone around the world together and shit like that. Like it for me, it just is going to turn into a whole bunch of asking questions. Like, and it's like they're like what is the like that's a great one. Like look, put Starlight hitting the zoom in. See, like they're not even an actual tag team. Like it's like they're in a unit right now together, but it's like, you know, like say yeah, Tony Khan loses mind, signs team 200K. That's funny. KG. You want to bring in Chiro and fucking you and make them a team? All right, fine. If
Hey,
that's your
look.
team, you'll never get the belts off of them ever. But
Oh
still,
well. You might be now. You'll be able to get the belt on. You know why? Because it's like, oh, all right, you want to do that? And we'll put Marita and Megan in there.
yeah. Give me the
What,
definition. I'm hearing there's
bro?
3 real tag teams in the tournament. Give me the definition of real tag teams.
Real tag team. I would say Twisted Sisters are real tag team.
Tay J, someone's saying.
Yeah, I would say Tay Conti and Anna Jay are a real tag team. I would say that Sky Blue and Julia Hart are a real tag team. I would
What
say that, but I would
level
say
of
Mercedes.
wrestling are we talking about
Hold on,
then?
hold on. I would say Penelope Ford and Megan Bain are a real tag team. But everything else is like thrown together tag teams or that are going to be around for now. Like that's a new initiative.
If that's what we talking about, right? What this division is based on, right? These are the baseline people, right? This is the best that we can offer. This is not Tony Storm super team, right? This is not a Mercedes Monet super team, right? These are
Uh,
day in and day out. I am not carving out space for them on a pay per view. Sorry, no.
okay, so I'm with you, but we know those aren't going to be the teams that are going to be on pay per view. We know that. We know that. We know it's going to
I
be. We know it's going to be Mercedes. We know it's going to be like Tony and Mina versus some other put super souped up tag team. You know that. Worst case scenario is going to be those two versus like Willow and Harley, and they'll have Willow carry it on her side.
was the walking pin eater Harley Cameron. She. But look, man, yeah, I don't know. It may be unpopular or whatever. I'm willing to stand here.
I'm
I'll
with you.
take that. I'll take the arrows now.
I'm with you. I feel I'm with you on the part where like it's doomed to start, but I feel like they built it well in the front end. On the back end, I think it is. I think it will. I think it will not hold up unless they invest in it long term. Like they got to keep these teams together for a while.
So moving forward, they show Hook entering the building, and I was just like, he talked about, obviously he's an underdog in this match tonight. See, between Lashley, Ricochet, and Joe, I'll be out there with three decorated veterans, so sure he'll have his hands full, but he wouldn't want it any other way. His main goal is to pull out the win, earn a shot at the AEW Championship. But Joe, I'll be doing my best personally to make sure you do not advance tonight. But see, you should decide to show the world who you really are, but I already knew. Look, man, I don't know if this is a great night for the send Hook to Africa agenda, because it normally is. Like, I can just normally,
It was
whatever.
a four way. It was a four way. Look,
It
man,
indeed was a four
this,
way.
this was a promo. This was a promo where he's like, "Hey, I'm here to let you know I'm not going to be taking the pin. I'm here to convince you I'm not going to be the one that's going to be this. They'll take the L." And we are like, "Oh, we know he's finna eat this L." And sure enough, got his ass choked out.
That man should have came out there with a flashing light on, like with a fucking sign on, like I'm here to do the job. Bro, we'll get there later, but yeah. So Don Callis, he basically take care of the Young Bucks here. They said Renee was backstage with Don to get comments on the family summit. He said he didn't say much before he seen the Young Bucks. He called him over. Matt and Nick came over. Don said it was criminal what the company's doing to him, and he knows that they said they would never join the Don Callis family. That was before so much is working against him to make him look like idiots. He said, just think about it. Maybe it would help you to have a family to have your back. Just don't answer. Let me show you what I can do. He ended up getting a special entrance made for the Bucks. He got back to old shit. And he passed three people in costumes. They were Inflatable Cow and Stay Puft, the Marshmallow Man, which is
Mm-hmm.
a Easter egg for
Yep.
Hangman
Later,
dresses Stay Puft a couple
the
years ago.
Marshmallow Man. Yep. Yep. Yep.
And then after that, they got their entrance, and then we got a Fright Night four-way number one contenders match between FTR, Jet Speed, Young Bucks, and Jurassic Express. Excellent, excellent match
Yes.
here. Oh,
Yes.
these niggas went crazy. I can't cap.
Bro. Did you see their collision match
No,
where they
I
tagged
didn't.
together? So a lot of the spots are just like rehashes of spots they did, except obviously because it's a four way there, but it's isolated. But like the spot where like Cash doesn't die instead of Nick, like that was a thing that they did as well. Like yeah, it was like the double like the put Luchasaurus in the corner and then like you know you figure about to eat two super kicks, but instead, like he just double lariats Young Bucks in. After that, he immediately double lariats FTR. That was also another spot that was in that match too. Like, yeah, this was just a better version of that match. So obviously, instead of being a 8-person tag, it was a four way, a tag team four way. Yeah, man, match is great. Like, this is what we're talking about. This is something that like as we just conversation we just had about the women's division is like this is what we mean as far as like it ain't gonna be able to compete. It may be of quality, but it will not be able to compete with what the tag division with Hurt Syndicate away from it, like what it's capable of.
Yeah, FTR ended up going over. They went over on Kevin Knight after he was going crazy, basically. And then I was like, all right. I mean, FTR hasn't been in the title mix for a long time, but then I immediately started thinking, fuck, they're gonna fight Brodito and win, and then you know what's gonna happen, James. You know what's gonna fucking happen, and I'm be like, I don't want to fucking see this.
Oh no! Oh, you talking about Cope and Christian?
Yes,
Oh, I
and they're
wasn't
gonna
thinking that.
do they're gonna do three of those fucking matches, James.
So I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking that like they're gonna put them in there so Copeland comes back and fucks them out of the titles. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Um, but before they won though, I did think that like Jesse was going to win, and then they were going
You
to go
more
into like Young.
optimistic than me.
Could be. But I thought like originally going into the match before the match ended, I thought it was gonna be I thought Jesse was going to win and then they would have like Young Bucks, Jurassic Express and FTR doing something involving, each other, but apparently not because like there was a lot of heat between FTR and Jurassic Express like on Saturday, so I thought they were building towards like a turn that into a three way where they add FTR to it, but nope.
Yeah. I thought Jack Perry looked great in there. I thought him and Dax had a couple cool spots together, especially like the dive outside the ring when he caught him and then dropped him on the fucking desk or whatever.
Hmm.
Just seeing the Young Bucks, bro. I don't know what got into the Young Bucks like training wise, but bro, this is the best they've ever like best condition they've ever been in. Like Nick Jackson is shredded out
Nixon,
there,
yeah,
bro.
it's about Nick is the thing because Matt's been in better shape for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to them boys
Yeah, and
for
he like,
doing
hey
that.
man, he like, look, man, I gotta do something to youth myself up. I got rid of the headband, so now I gotta, you know, I think maybe that's something involved, and also it could
It
be,
could
hey
be.
man, we trying to do something nice for Tunnel Talk. Could be that too.
It could be. They didn't let the titties out. It was commanded. They was covering them up for like a year and all that, and you know,
Oh my god,
them things hanging out, them things thinging. So
I forgot that they be saying let the. I forgot they be talking about the titty meat like that. I forgot.
yeah, yeah, you know. Um, so Heyman
Uh,
Page, they played a promo for him on Saturday about Samoa Joe. They do the Don Callis Family Summit after this, and
I fucking love this.
Don and 100 niggas come out to the ring. All them niggas
Bro,
sitting down, and then
dude,
you could just
dude,
see Okada and Takeshita on each side. Or Okada comes out first, and then Takesha's music plays, and then he gets his own
no,
entrance.
no. Everybody comes out with callus, and then they put two tables that are like almost like for the sake of being able to see it from camera view, like they're staggered to where you can see like every person. So like they sit down at every spot. They got like nameplates, like makeshift nameplates, and then like you look all of them to the right, and you see the like there's so many people in Down Cal's family. There's four seats on the left table. In the right table, there's five seats, and like there's no room for the fifth person. So like Archer basically has to has to sit down by everybody, but like there's no table. Like they ran out of table real estate. So they showed Takesha was supposed to be sitting next to Fletcher, but they left his name tag, but no one's sitting in uh Takesha's spot, which is funny, which makes like the Archer thing, him sitting out by himself, even funnier because like, no. You still get you don't get to pull your chair up to any table, but like we'll leave an open spot for Takesha who's not there, which is fucking hilarious. And then they said that Takesha's not there, and then as I think it's Fletcher. No, I'm sorry, it was not Fletcher. It was Rocky. Rocky unveils the picture, and or the portrait. It's a painting of a bunch of rich people of like all the
Looks
members of Cal's
absurd.
family with wrists. It was absurd, and the one that made me laugh the most was I saw,
Hold on, I might be able to find that shit. Hold on, bitch. I
bro,
might be able to find that shit.
when I saw the picture and I looked and I saw what's your boy's name, Mark, from Aussie Open. What's his name? I'm losing his last name. Dunkzilla.
Mark Davis.
When I saw Mark Davis with the six pack of abs, like he's one of the niggas from 300, I fucking howled. That's not him. That's
Hold
fake.
on. I actually have it right here, and I'm gonna be able to
Okay,
share
go
it
ahead, show it.
and
Yeah, share
display
it.
it on the screen.
Oh my god. Like, bro, all these fucking portraits are hilarious, bro. Like, what is wrong with him? Like, he's been doing this. This has been his running gag for years. For years. Like, what
There we
is that,
go.
bro?
That's absurd, bro. Like Don is here.
What the
He
fuck
has
is this?
he has familia tattoo over the 8-pack abs. By the way,
Yeah,
oh,
bro. Fuck.
he's got all these boys. Like this is what I said it is, James. These niggas is escorts. This is an escort service, dog. Like got these niggas out here sheened up. Sheened up on display. All flavors almost. Men in masks, Asian men, white men,
No,
Australian men,
no, no,
Mexican men,
no,
Puerto
no, no,
Rican
no.
men.
When you said no, I lost it when you said, you said Asian man. I'm like, what? 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 whoa. All right, man. But he goes on to say that like it's all good, and then Takeshita comes out, and Takeshita comes in the ring, gets in the ring, he immediately walks and stepping towards Okada, and Don Callis puts a hand on Takeshi's shoulder, and like I don't believe that Takeshi ever like his line of vision ever strayed from Okada. He just removes Don Callis' hand, and then Okada gets up and walks in front, and he's like, "Hey man, for me, for me." Shake his hand. Shake his hand. We're family. Do it for me. And he comes to his senses and he gets better judgment. And he reaches his hand out to Okada. And then Okada reaches his hand out. And then instead of that shaking hand, he reaches up and gives him the middle finger. And oh my God, I was out here. I was seated. And then I immediately stood up and started shortly jumping up and down like in giddiness, the happiness of like, I love this so much. This is so this is the kind of melodrama I live for. Like, bro, they hate each other so much. Like, imagine you Takeshita and like this this nigga Okada had little bro to you your whole career or most of your career, and then you're the IWGP champion. You have his belt. You think you got some on him, and he's still wiping his ass with you. Like, he has to be so bad. And then it's time for he's the one that's been the fuck nigga. Okada's been the one that's been dissing him. It's not Richard Cassidy. It's always Okada. And
Yep.
he listens to Don Callis. He's following his hand out. And then Okada shows him his ass again. To catch the one, to kill him.
His
He has to
ass
break
whooping
him
on
up.
deck.
This was so great.
His ass
Okada,
whooping. Like that nigga Takeshi so being mad so great. I
yeah,
really believe he wanted to like spark that nigga dog.
bro. And then when they broke it up, because keep in mind, like Okada has this stoic face the whole time, and then when he said the
He's
middle finger,
laughing.
stoic face. No, stoic face. And then once they broke him up, when he knew there was gonna be no fight, he couldn't do anything. Cash couldn't get to him. Then he started smiling. Oh, I know that made the Cash furious. He wants a ring on Okada's neck. This is so good. It's so good. Oh boy, man, I love this. I love it. And then Callis said, you know what? Enough of this. We are going to have a match where we tag together again on Collision, and I will be watching Collision. I've been watching Collision last like month or so now. I've been stuck on the Collision, and also they're doing Master of the Rada versus Bandito on the same show. So yeah, Collision is where it's at again.
Yeah, man. So moving forward after that,
Rich, sorry, so we were talking about Okada. Sorry about that. I forgot this. Did they? So I don't know if this was on Collision or if this was on Dynamite. I can't remember. But they did a Bandito in San Antonio video package. Was that on
yes.
Dynamite?
What is they shot it for the internet and then they played it on Dynamite.
Okay, we'll get when we get to it. We'll talk about it. Go ahead. Sorry, couldn't remember.
Yeah. So they had, speaking of Collision, Olympia will be facing Mercedes Monet. She got a video package. Masked muscle lady,
Yes,
from CMLL.
she showed up and squashed Taya Valkyrie on Collision.
Man.
Yeah,
And she's gonna be fighting for the CMLL World Women's Championship. So James, one of those belts that Mercedes Monet doesn't defend. That's what's on the line. So
yeah. It's amazing how she never defends these things yet they are being defended.
Chris Statlander cut a little promo. She said, Mercedes, you're upset, you're embarrassed. That was really embarrassing, but on Collision, you're defending your world title against Olympia, and I will be in person there to support you. But you're here tonight. I'm here tonight. So if there's anything you want to say to my face, I'm not going anywhere. And if you have trouble looking for me, I'll be the one holding the title. You don't have the AEW Women's World Championship, so what are you waiting for? I would have thought Mercedes
For
would
now.
be a little bit angrier after the cake. It was like Statlander.
Well, I mean, you see the segment after this
Yeah.
involving them too. So
So after that, we got John Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly, and they go to a double count out. And at this point, I'm like, man, all right. what's going on? Like, I like the first week, it was cute. I like the finish and stuff like that. Now we're doing this one. I'm like, can we just beat a motherfucker? Like, I like how they did it, but then I was just like, okay, I was had. I got worked.
Um, yeah, I'm with you. If you give me a choice between no finish or finish, fine. Especially after the first match, you're like, you don't need a second one. But like they're building towards. I didn't know they were building towards blood and guts, but I'm still like a win or loss. But like these things have done something for Fletcher. Like the crowd actually cares when he wrestles now, as opposed to like that Fletcher match from like 3 weeks ago, where like they didn't give a fuck. Like I guess maybe it's just the
You
Moxley
mean for
aspect of it.
O'Reilly?
Yeah, when O'Reilly's fighting Fletcher. Yeah, like they didn't
Yeah,
care. They don't care about O'Reilly. I'm sorry for fucking that up. But like now it's like, the Kyles. But now it's like O'Reilly's in there with Moxley and like the crowd cares about what O'Reilly does. So like that's definitely a better use of it. But as you mentioned, two in a row, not necessarily needed. Not necessarily needed. But I did like both matches. So
yeah,
and I would like after Blood and Guts, whatever else, for them to have a definitive match where Moxley just beats him.
yeah. No, whoever they want to put over, I don't give a fuck. Like, but that setup for Blood and Guts actually occurred after this match, not the opener, but the opener kind of built it up
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Darby grabbed the mic after the count out. They did a whole thing where it was a schmoz after, and Claudia was out there, and what's her name? Marina struck Aubrey, which is
Yes.
funny. Anytime Aubrey gets
Yeah.
struck, it's like, oh, you can't run now, you know.
I'm assuming they're going to come up with something to punish Marina for that, but we'll see.
Maybe she got punished by getting in the tag team tournament, so
Right, right,
no.
right.
Darby grabbed the mic. He said, "Why are you running? Let's end this right here. For a year and a half, you said everyone hasn't suffered enough. Trust me, I suffered plenty. It's you that hasn't suffered enough, but I'm going to give you the chance to suffer some more." Mark Briscoe then got the mic. He said, "Darby, my good man, that's what I'm talking about, because Death Riders want to walk around like they're all bad, like they're hard. I don't see nothing but some fake ass tough guys. Every time it's time for y'all to throw down, y'all sure do like to skedaddle." He said him and his crew come up with the perfect solution to this issue. And he's going to let his main man with the game plan, Orange Cassidy, tell y'all what we got planned. And then Orange Cassidy said, blood and guts.
No, that's not what. Okay, fully explain it. He's like, Orange Cassidy's like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to do this. And then, like, he goaded him on to say it again. Also, Orange Cassidy's like, blood and guts. Like, Orange Cassidy didn't want to do this. Like, this shit was funny as fuck. Like, it was very, really true to the character. That, like, of course, Orange Cassidy would want to be in blood and guts. That,
What
that's
the fuck?
what a part of blood and guts has to do with being a slacker and being low effort. Nothing. This man dreads a cage match. Why would he ever want to do that?
Yep. So there was all of a sudden Mercedes Monet and Chris Statlander was running it. And
Yeah.
they were in the back, and then Mercedes brought Statlander out to the top of the ramp, but Statlander turned around. She threw Monet into the apron, and then she was about to whoop her some more, and all of a sudden Athena jumped her from the back and then threw Statlander into the steps. Monet got her in the ring for a backstabber. Athena gave her the O-face. Then Willow and Harley came out to make the save, pretty much to set up for the tag match next week.
So you had Athena and Mercedes whooping on Statlander, and I had some thoughts. And then Willow comes in and makes a save, and I was like, God damn it! Of course, Willow would have saved this white woman. Of course. Willow always making saves for these white friends of hers, and it don't seem like it's reciprocated in the same way when she be out there getting her ass.
Willow
What do
don't
you
be
call it?
getting whooped. That's the thing.
Willow be getting whooped occasionally, and they don't be making saves from she getting whooped on the wrists. She just be wearing it.
Uh,
I just want better for Willow. That's all I want. Harley, I believe Harley will make a save for Willow. Everybody else,
Harley will come out
maybe
there.
not.
She might not like be able to fight all the time, but she'll come out
Right.
there.
It's
You know.
that's real friends, real friends.
Right.
If pro
Right.
wrestling, you want to ass whooping for your friend.
Yeah. You know.
I don't be seeing enough conglomerate. When Willow be in danger, I don't be seeing enough conglomerating. That's all I'm
Or
saying. I don't like
Orange
seeing. I
Cassidy not
like
running
seeing more
out.
conglomerating. He
Ishi,
look. He'll walk
Ishii
his
not
ass
running
past the
out.
ring.
Ishi
Ishii
just
ain't
playing the
no.
piano in the back.
Ishii won in the. Ishii might not have been in the country this time. We don't know. We don't know.
I assume Tomohiro Ishii is in the country at all times. You know, you never know
At
where he
this
might
point,
pop up.
at this point, it seems
He
like
might
he'd
be
be
in
there all the
Huntsville,
time.
Alabama that day for the fuck of it, James. You know, he might just be hang out in Independence, Missouri. You know, Charleston, West Virginia. He's just walking down the street getting something to eat, and all of a sudden he finds out
Yeah.
he's needed at the building.
Don't you think it's kind of interesting that like we see Tomohiro Ishii at AEW tape or shows more than we even see hologram at this point. Like,
Hologram's hurt.
oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Forgot
You
about
know,
that. Fair enough.
the
If he
the
be
the
here, if he
actual
don't be
thing
in
with
Japan,
the actual thing with Ishii is like he's actually the one that's here in a real character rather than Gabe Kidd, which everybody was freaking out about or whatever. Ishii's
yeah,
the actual one who's like part of a
yeah,
unit and doing losses and shit like that. Like
yeah,
Gabe Kidd is like a special attraction kind of person.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's true.
for now, um,
But when Ichi be doing them jobs, they don't even care. He be like, well, he be doing. If he was over here, he be doing jobs too. We don't give a fuck. We want someone to get. We want someone that's a winner to get wins in AEW from New Japan. And I'm like, all right, bro. All right, man.
y'all just want to
Okay.
win. Oh, okay, I see how it is. Um, then we got Sky Blue and Julia Hart versus Jamie Hayter and Queen Emanata. The team with Jamie Hayter and Queen Emanata, they were taking some pictures together and uploading them on the internet. Very interesting ones. Let's see if I can
I
find
say.
these. Let me see if I can.
I mean, it'd be some good research.
Yeah. So like unique looking unit here. It's something together. I thought you could have did a little more with them here. You eliminated them and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I just see. Hold on. I got the joint right here. I'm about to pull it up. And this is a visual medium, so if you're hearing the podcast version, this will encourage you to
Sorry,
come join
brother.
us. But yeah, hold on. Whoop. Just 1 second here. So, look at this team.
Yep.
How could you not put this team over? Like,
I mean that. I mean, they my favorite tag team right now.
like Jamie Hayter showing incredible strength right here, holding Amanada. They're displaying the power, and Amanada displaying, she's agile, kind of nimble in that scenario right there. For me, I would have think they would have been able to use this power to whoop Julia Hart and Sky Blue, but turned out to not be the case.
I mean, they got beat 3-on-2. Tekla was making
Tekla
plays on the
came out.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was underneath the ring, came out there and caused interference and whatever else. So that happened. But like, I'm with you. Like, there's no way, there's no way in a 2v2 that Julia Hart and I'm sorry, Julia Hart and Sky Blue are whooping Jamie Hayter and Queen Amanata in a tag match. Nah, not a thing.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like it's a thing. Like, but sad times. Can't win them all. Um, but after that, went to the back, and Tony Schiavone, who would play a role later, was dressed as Phantom of the Opera, and he was with Megan Bain and Penelope Ford. She said she tore her UCL in her right arm. James, this woman is going to have to get Tommy John surgery?
Yep.
Damn. What a bad break.
Yeah. This is like the first time she had a consistent role in AEW television, and now out the window. Like, I actually like
Yeah.
their team. I actually like their team. Like, Megan throws her around, and she's a gymnast. Yeah, I mean, it worked. It worked. It was working. Oh well, like, or not. Oh well, they dismissively, but like, it sucks, and now they gotta wait or figure out where she fits in if she ever find another spot to fit in on TV again. Sucks for her.
Yep. Megan Bain had one of her all-time gears on, I think, last night.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's that's the poison ivy deal I was talking about from last week.
Yep, that's just stuff. Um, so the replacement for her ended up being Marina Shafir, and she appears in the side or whatever. And you're like, well, she was like, and these women are women enough to step up, and it was like, oh shit, what is
Yep.
Marina doing here? Like, and you can see the dichotomy. It was like, wow, these are two badasses here.
This is the equivalent of the main event where they get to sing. You get Samoa Joe and Bobby Lashley together in the middle of the ring. Like this is like, oh, oh no, you want to put them two together? It's like, okay, so they're winning the tournament, right? Like, because it was supposed to beat them. That's
Right.
Brothers of Destruction. That's the
Somebody
Mecca and
getting
Micah.
somebody getting
That's
whooped.
team. That's team 200 kilograms right there. They ain't whooping them. They doing the
Like,
whooping.
I want to know the Megan Bain and Marina Shafir strategy session, what that's like, because I don't get the feeling that Megan Bain really wants to be putting no holes on nobody. She really ain't about the holes and all that. And then Marina, she's about to tax in the feet if necessary. So like by any means necessary almost.
Let's move on. Let's move on. You don't want to know what my thoughts are. You don't want to know what my thoughts are after you ask me what this strategy going to be. Because I had a joke that had an intrusive thought, and I'm just going to leave it there and move on. So,
Yeah.
move on.
Team live show charisma right here. So um
Big top energy. Big top energy. That's all I'll say.
amazing. Um but yeah, so they are going to be basically replacing Penelope in there, so it's gonna be interesting to see. And then John Moxley walks into and he's like, "What the?" He has this look on his face like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like, but I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Whenever he interacts between like Marina and whenever Marina is involved with, I gotta say this. Whenever he makes a little commentary with Marina interact with any other woman is always funny. Like the Statlander stuff too in the background when he had to get her that money that Tony Khan didn't pony up immediately. Like it's always funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good. Marina has really she's figured it out. She might be like the top worker in AEW. Like she ain't look. She's whooping them dudes' ass. She take a bump or two here and there. Most part, she whooping everybody's ass, and she's over as fuck.
yeah. I think Marina's awesome. So I'll leave it at that. Nice
Yeah,
lady. So
love
shout out
her
to Marina.
character. Really say I love her character.
Great theme song too. So gotta Barry Horowitz myself right there. But then it was time for the main event. Four-way match. Number one contender for the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe versus Hook versus Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet. This match went off. Um,
Yes,
it
yes,
it was awesome. I thought Ricochet looked fucking amazing in this match. I
yes.
thought Lashley worked
Helping his
very
ass
hard
off.
in this.
Yes.
When Lashley fucking knocked Hook off the apron, I was like, I need that gift. Like that shit was amazing. I popped so much for that shit. Um,
Didn't he yell at him to calm down before he did that too?
yes, he's like,
Yeah,
well, he had
yeah.
him like he basically was
Right,
like
right.
putting his head down, calm down. Shit was funny.
Yes. Because I don't know if that was a work or a shoot, but because that's what makes it funnier. I don't know if it was like some, hey, bro, relax, or nah, your character is tripping. So in character, I mean, tell you to calm down too, because you biting off more than you can chew. You put too much dip in your chip. But yeah, I like Bobby Lashley. For the stuff with her Seneca that we've talked about in detail over the past year or so, is like, hey, man, when it's time to present him like he's a threat, the crowd believes it and he plays up to it. Same for Joe. Like that was the one thing for me. It was like watching this Joe
Yeah,
stuff recently. It's like, hey, as you mentioned, like you can put them in the main event slot and they will do well with it. But unless they're in the main event slot, you don't really know what to do with them. And yeah, man, like that Joe and Lashley thing when they face off, the crowd went for it. They were going up for it, and I don't blame them because like them two give off. Look, it was been in a fight time. That's
Yeah.
that what it was. Is that what it was? And that's what people look. Regardless of how and regardless of how whoever you think the greatest wrestler in the world is or the best wrestler in the world and in ring performance whatever else, seeing two big niggas that are protected like get go face to face will always work in pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is gonna be really fucking simple sometimes. Big motherfucker that's protected versus big motherfucker that's protected, and they go face to face. That means, oh my god, someone's getting their ass whooped, and these two are the baddest motherfuckers, ass whoopers in the world right now. So we want to see it. It's real simple. Sometimes it be real simple.
Yeah. I thought Hook even like did decent in this match. Like
Yeah.
one of his throws on Samoa Joe looked really good
Yep.
actually.
Yep.
Um,
It looked better than any of the ones with Jericho,
yeah, yeah.
which
Jericho
is
was
that
like,
makes no
"Nah,
sense.
nigga, not going up."
I
Jericho was
don't
like,
think it
"I'm
was.
not going
I
up."
don't think it was. I'm not going up. I just think it was like it just looked better. I don't think it was a flat out German. It wasn't rolling German. That's what it was. It was actual. It was a different throw. I think it was like a T-bone
Yeah,
or
yeah, it was
50-50.
T-Bone.
Yeah, that might be that. I think that made it look better. I don't think German and Samoa Joe was. I don't think he was going for that.
Yeah. Um, it's interesting, man. So they basically have Bobby Lashley chase Ricochet away,
Yep.
and he by the time he's back in the ring, Hook is getting submitted, and he's out there tapping out for his life. And Hook, somebody had to lose here, and I guess that's why they
I'm just glad it wasn't Ricochet.
look. I'm very glad it wasn't Ricochet, and I'm like, man,
There was also a spot where he was going nuts and like he had the shooting star, and I was like, oh, he's gonna win.
yeah, that kind of fooled me too. I was like, huh. I was like, I know they ain't doing it, but look,
Oh, nasty.
I was like, fuck. I was like, I wish they would because like
Yeah.
I think if anybody has earned a title shot right now, it's Ricochet. Like he's been great, this whole year, and even
Well, what he's been
Lashley,
tasked with, yeah.
like obviously Hook would have not been a good option at all, but either
Oh
of
my
those
God,
three
no.
guys,
That's a
either of
fold the
those three
company type of.
guys,
That's some fold the company type shit. You put Hook there.
yeah, that's like me sending 10 mean tweets after the show, and like several of them end up with 1,000 likes. Like that's what will happen.
Yeah.
But it's like after the match, post match, I really enjoyed this whole thing. They were taking forever to do this shit, so I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Where the fuck is?" Because at this point, we still haven't seen Heyman in
Hmm.
person yet, right? On
Right.
this whole show, and I was like, "Where's the champion, man? I want to see him." And then they bring out the people. They say, "Yeah, we're gonna celebrate your contract signing, Joe," and it was like, "Yeah, man, like." You see Stay Puff, the Marshmallow Man, come out. You
Hmm.
see some other shit. All the people we've been
Some
seeing
dude
all
dressing
night,
like a pizza,
essentially.
slice of pizza. Yep. Yep. All the comedy or not comedy. All the, like the costume geeks. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like you start hearing this voiceover, and the voiceover is just going so fucking long. And it's Tony Schiavone talking, but like at the same time, they're doing something funny with the camera where you can't quite see like Shivani. You
Giovanni
can't get a good
anymore.
look at
Right.
Shivani or whatever. But it's like Shivani is like not that fucking big. Like what's going on? Like I'm like, I think Hangman is Shivani or whatever. Hangman pulls that shit back, or basically hands these niggas beers or whatever. Um, After they had cleared out the rest of these people, because Joe was like, "Nah, man, I already know what's up. I know you would Stay Puff or whatever." They whooped their
Yep.
ass, and he was like, "Make sure I'm safe before I sign this." One other thing, that nigga didn't look at what he signed, so I expect Heyman to pull that shit out, and that shit say Texas Death Match on that shit or some shit like that. Look for that. And Heyman gets in the ring, which we think is Tony Schiavone, and he's like toasting. He fucking blasts on Shibata, knocks him the fuck out, takes Hobbs out, peels that shit back, and this crowd comes fucking unglued for this nigga. And then he takes Joe out, and I thought this was a really fun angle. I like this. I thought it was like very smart. Like obviously, kind of contrived, corny, or whatever to an extent. But I thought it got over big time, and I was with it. I loved it.
Look, man, we talking about a dude ultimately, like, for the first time he ever wrestled in front of 10,000 people in America, like, went out there and got sent away by dick druids. Like, Hangman Adam Page is not he does not embarrass easily. So
Yeah,
yeah, man,
he
I liked it. I liked it, and also it plays off of the Stay Puff shit from a few years ago. So yeah, I was with it. I liked it, and like we talked about this beginning of this year when Kenny Omega came back and they were getting their ass. Him and Omega were getting their ass, or him Osprey getting their ass whooped all the time,
yep.
over and over and over again by Don Callis family. Like, why haven't they figured out how to outsmart them? Right? Well, there's a baby thing outsmarting the heels right here. Good. Don't just go out there and get your ass kicked every single week. That's not fun TV to watch. So yeah, I'm with that. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah. It was I thought it was pretty good, man. Like and
Now,
night
one thing I will say is, like, you know, how did Hangman know that Jamal Joe was gonna win? I mean, Hook was in there. He could have lost to anybody. But whatever,
he could have. He
whatever,
could have lost to
whatever.
anybody.
Look. If
He
MJF can be in Michael Jeans, why can't Hangman as a babyface?
I mean, he could have ended up busting that beer bottle over Ricochet's big bald head, or Bobby Lashley's big bald head. One of them two.
Yeah,
It would have
yeah,
broke all the same.
right, right. Like yeah, you're right. Because like we know, if there's anything we know about the Hangman and Page character, he loves to fight black guys with very violently, very violently. By the way, very violently.
Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, that was the show. Really solid episode, man.
Yeah,
like a lot. I think a step up probably from the past couple weeks. I would say.
yeah, yeah. The four ways were great, and then you had this angle here, and then you had the Okada Takesha Don Callis thing. Yeah, man. Like, for that's how you know the show was good. They had like they had the talking segments hit. Like, normally with the AEW crowd, if, like, oh my God, why are they bringing out the Callis family for this fucking thing? It doesn't, it's not important. Blah 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 blah. No, that was important. That was fucking awesome. Like, you want to see Takeshita and Okada get to each other, and you want to see, like, how it's gonna fall out with the Don Callis family and who's gonna be on the outs, and you know who's gonna be on the outs already. But that's what makes it compelling. You're already slightly ahead of the main of the main protagonist in it, so you can just how it's gonna end. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be painful to see him get excised from the Don Callis family, but you're gonna get Okada and Takeshita.
Yeah, man. The latest Victor Wembanyama stat line has come in, James. I want to read
I
it
didn't know they
off.
had a game tonight.
They had won first 5-0 start in franchise history. Victor
Okay,
Wembanyama, 27 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks.
what did he shoot field goal wise?
I do not have that information yet,
That's
but
another part about it, is like he's shooting like 36% from three, and he's shooting like damn near 60% from the field so far this season. Like, this is
he's
nuts.
only playing 32 minutes or some shit.
Right, right.
Man, it's gonna be sick, bro. Like I think
I can't wait to see
bro,
the highlights.
they're gonna be up there. But
Like, they're gonna fuck around and get the two seed at this rate.
I, I'm saying I thought I was alone in thinking that.
Well, I mean, for me, it was like, I don't know how good. Like, I didn't know that Harper was gonna be this good this early. Like, he
Yeah,
might be like, him and Edgecombe, like, they're gonna be the two rookie of the year. Like, I mean, obviously, we'll see how Cooper Flag eventually adjusts, but like, those are like the two front runners right now so far early in the season.
you know who else has been good? Con Knipple.
I
That
didn't
went to
know that.
Duke. He's
I didn't know that.
I think he's scoring 16 a game and he's shooting like 50% from 3 or some shit like that.
Damn. Well, that's not gonna
Yeah.
last, but that's still a good indication that he can shoot. I mean, we knew he could shoot, but still.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll get his Con Knipple stats. Yeah, he's that nigga scoring 16 a game. 52% from the field, 53% from 3. That shit's
That's nuts.
insane.
That's nuts. That's a heater.
Hold on. I don't know how many attempts a game. I don't know how many attempts yet, but I will find it.
Do you know how bad the Lucas thumb thing is or hand thing is?
He's supposed to just miss a week, but
Okay.
hopefully,
Okay.
I'm up for the Austin Reaves thing, but we don't need to rock out for the long term
Yeah.
like that.
Did anybody know like the situation with AD? Because like that shit there, like both Achilles. It's not for
Mm.
both Achilles.
He is
Hey, bro. Yeah.
Concanibal is taking three, or excuse me, 7.5 attempts a game. He's making 4 threes a game right now.
Damn.
That nigga's gonna be all star
Hey man, that's
eventually.
not look, man. That's not real, but that's still impressive so far for a rookie.
Yeah, like they might have finally got this nigga Lamelo some help.
Have they won a game yet?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have.
Okay.
Um, I know Lamelo had that big game. It was like a 38-point triple double or some shit like that. Hold on, they actually won. Nope, they did not win. They're 2-3 right now.
Okay.
They just lost to the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
Bro, the Magic got their ass whooped by
Oh,
the Magic last night got their ass whooped by Detroit. Oh, we're still doing the podcast. I gotta sign off. Hold on. Sorry, y'all.
yeah. We can wrap
Thanks for
it up.
listening.
No, I just kind
Thanks,
of interrupted with the Wimby thing, so we'll wrap it up. But happy Halloween,
thanks,
everybody.
man.
Be
Yeah,
safe.
yeah. That's none of this shit we do after the show. Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
y'all. If
Get
you're
another
watching the
look.
show,
Get another
yeah, if
look at
you're
the drip. Get another look. Too
let's
clean.
get on the
Hold on,
podcast
man.
first. Let's get on the podcast first. Hold on.
You know.
What's on the podcast? Let me start off, Rich. All right. If you're thanks, that's it to show y'all. Thanks for listening. If you are you're listening, I'm sorry, if you're watching the show, be sure to go to the show notes where the podcast is posted. You'll see the link to Red so you can donate there. And be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Issue Radio, you have Keep This Strong Style, All Things Elite, AW Match Guide, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, Tunnel Talk, AW Match Guide, and Wrestling Art with Chris Things. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
So
We
we're done
wrapping
now.
up. All right, y'all. We gonna end this video here, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Later, y'all.